Hey guys, what's up? Itchla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides Witchla, and I'm a little bit worried because now I don't know how long this could have been potentially going on for, but I believe in one of the Car Rides Witchla recordings it sounds like there's that nasty static back for my primary headset microphone. So if you hear me pausing a bit right now, it's because I'm trying to look at that thing to see if, I'm noticing any spikes. Because I'm very upset about that. Now, it didn't appear to be throughout the whole recording, and I guess it's impossible to tell, but it's very frustrating and upsetting for me. I don't know why that's happening, but I think I've said it for a while. I really should get a new HS2 because, again, if this one goes, it won't be a terrible situation now because I do have my backup, but this backup is not super great. I think I explained it. I don't really like it in my face while I'm driving, and if it's not directionally perfect, you really lose like a substantial amount of clarity. So I do think the headset mic is the superior setup. It just is. And yeah, it's concerning because I don't know, I was hearing that crackling that I had heard once before, and I had fixed by tying a hair tie around where the port is so it stays tight. But I was hearing those crackles, and I'm nervous now if there's the crackles, but of course now it's impossible to tell because now the car's moving. So I don't know. It's kind of upsetting situation, but I don't really know what I can do because it's not really something that's very easy to monitor. So yeah, I guess we're just winging it for now. It's a shame. It's a shame all that happened the way it did, but again, I don't really think there's that much I can do about it. And it's also a shame because I actually think it's theoretical that the cheaper mic could actually be better. That's my theory. I really do. I think it could be better if I tried to get really creative about the placement. So it may be smarter, but I have a feeling like it's going to be pretty difficult, and it's probably just going to be kind of in my face, and I don't really know where I could orient it where it would work actually. Like I'm saying all this, but I don't really know where it would go or how it would work. So it's kind of a shame, but it's a little bit stressful, but I definitely should have another one of those on hand. I've just been putting it off, but should add it to my list of eBay things to get, because I don't know, to like monitor or whatever. Because then when one comes up on a good deal, like I could have missed an opportunity. So really need to be watching for that a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know. I really hope it's not doing that static. Like I said, in the recording I did notice it was minimal. Like it wasn't really obvious, it was a pretty minimal static, like kind of in the beginning of the recording, and then when I skipped through to the rest it seemed fine, but I have no idea. This whole time basically it could just be terrible, and I don't know. I haven't been listening to the recordings. I don't know how many recordings are compromised. I don't really know how big of an issue it is. It's pretty upsetting, but I'm not entirely sure how to diagnose it or pinpoint it. Today was okay. I think today felt pretty good. Like I wasn't feeling it went by pretty quick. It was a nice chill day. Wasn't an amazing day, but it was a good day. It was definitely better than average. And again, I can't complain. I'm here now, driving home. So we made it through, and then I just have, I don't know. So what can I say? It was an okay day. It was an okay day. I was okay with it. It was fun. It was a nice day. I feel like in some of my dialogues today, I got to... that's actually what I wanted to talk about. I was doing some of the first episodes of Walk, Switch, Law, and some of the concepts that I brought up were pretty interesting. Of course, at this point, I've forgotten, but I'm actually... Well, first I need to put this away, so never mind. But then I was actually thinking of adding it to the... Wait, what am I talking about? No, I saw one of the titles and I remembered like a concept I had thought of during the Walk, Switch, Law, and I thought it was pretty impressive. I feel like I always have to do this. With the temperature, it's like, it's always like not really what I want, so I have to always adjust it in the car. Because it's just like automatic, and I don't even really like that, but it's not automatic. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just, even though it's turned off, it's still on, like, slightly, and it's not on full force, but I still notice it. And I explained in a Walk, Switch, Law today how I hate the deathly feel of hot air. So it gets like very annoying, because so I wanted to check one of those videos to see which one I was probably talking about. I'm not sure. I'm trying to check. Oh yeah, some of these, I think this is the human beings being meant to destroy. Like us being, I had forgotten, that was like, I guess one of my more interesting ones, honestly. Like, I thought it was pretty cool, because if you look around at the planet and just the way we operate, it does seem to be a skewing towards like destruction over time. Like there's not that much evidence that we're really meant to... I mean, it's not even in our nature, clearly. Like, humans they don't inherently want to be efficient. Like, they want to exploit, they want to destroy, and it almost seems like that is that like a part of our purpose. I mean, it seems very like odd. It seems really odd, when you actually break it down and think about it in that way. I think so, at least. But yeah, there's like little things like that. I guess sometimes I'm hard on myself, and I think that's not a bad thing, but I'm pretty hard on myself. But some of the concepts that get recorded, they're pretty cool. Like, they're pretty good. It's just a shame I didn't have the microphone yet for them. And again, like, even now, it's a shame if there's that static issue. Of course, it doesn't really matter, because especially at this point, it's more of a chronicling than like something I'm trying to make money off of, or like actually have people to listen to. It's mostly about, ideas and transcriptions and things like that. But it's the microphone quality is just very important to me. So just a shame I can't really, because I don't have monitoring. I actually could. I think I could plug headphones in, so that's something I should probably do. I forgot that I can even do that. But yeah, like I could have live monitoring of this microphone pretty easily. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Remember the whole beginning of this episode, I was talking about how the mic. I was talking about it's a shame there's no way for me to check it or monitor it, and it's like there literally is. It has the headphone port on it. So yeah, that's, I don't know, just an interesting tidbit to throw in there. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling a little bit of fatigue, but I'm pretty proud of myself for just making it through the day. The weekend was not great, as they haven't been for a while now. I just like more of a break or an ability to relax, and that has not come my way yet. But hopefully one of these weekends finally have a chance to recuperate. Tonight I don't really get a chance to, because I've explained, I mean, these shifts I basically get home and go straight to bed. It's basically at my limit in terms of what I am mentally able to handle, And I again, at that one point, I was really motivated to do this like every week, but they put a stop to that. Of course, the company did, which is, I mean, it's a shame, but at the same time, it's probably like it's easier. I was really pushing it like very extreme, just super duper like extreme. I don't know how worth it was. Just wasn't very worthwhile. So it is what it is. It's no biggie. Like I mean, I can't get upset about it. I could. I was, but there's no point in even really getting into it, but yeah, I mean, it's an okay life. Like, I would live it, and I'd be able to make a living wage and stuff. So yeah, but as for now, like I said, 2026, it's going to have to be a year of austerity for me. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's the goal. I hope so. That's that's my intention, is hope that it will be a very austere year, and we'll see. But 2025 really wasn't, but I think that's fair because just kind of getting started working, there was a bunch of stuff I've always wanted, and getting that stuff. But was it really the most mature thing to do? No. I've sort of had a bit of regret about a lot of the things I've done, but, at the same token, I think it's all right to live like a nice, satisfying life. It's not the worst thing, and there are people who indulge so much deeper than me. I mean, I don't know. I try to look at the data about it, but I don't have a super good grasp of it, I guess. So, I guess I don't really know. I kind of find it hard to believe that people really spend less than me, but it seems like they spend more. I mean, did I say that wrong? I think I might have said that wrong. I mean to say it's hard for me to believe that people really spend more than me, but I think they probably do. But it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around. I don't really know. But yeah, an austere year, I don't know if it would probably be austere, right? I don't think it would be austere or austere. I think it would be austere, but I don't know. It's not a word I'm familiar with, which is unacceptable considering I would like to be the ultimate orator. But we all have our mishaps. We all have our bugs, our glitches, our blind spots. And so, not much I can do about that. Just not much I can do about it. But yeah, I guess I've come a long way, but I still, I felt that feeling again of kind of being sick of myself today and just wishing there was some kind of a purge or reset. So I don't really know how I'm going to do as I get older, because over time I'm probably going to like want that more and more. You know, I'm just going to continue to kind of, I mean, unless things turn around like pretty massively, I think if I got to the point where I had the loyal fan base that I want, of a modest fan base, you know, like I said, I think we've kind of calculated it before. If my goal to live fairly comfortably, it would probably be, I could probably make it on $2,000 a month. I mean, it's pretty austere. It's pretty austere, but I could probably pull that off. And in order to make $2,000 a month, I would need 200 people. Well, that's actually, yeah, see, that's still kind of a lot, isn't it? Because I was going to say 200 people giving me like $10 a month on Patreon, but I'm sure there's fees or things like that. So maybe, I mean, like, because I want a small fan base, really. I would want like my vision for this channel would ideally be like just a small loyal fan base. I think, you know, if I had like just 1,000 fans, but I hopefully knew them pretty well, I would be very happy with that. Because like, obviously at 1,000, that's, I mean, even like 500, because 500, if 500 people gave me $10 a month, I mean, that's like insane to me, you know? Because for me, I think I said this before. I know I already had this conversation before, but it would be like 2,000 a month is really squeaking by tight. 3,000 is like, I mean, that's pretty, right, and this is after taxes, so actually it would need to be more Patreons than that. 3,000 is like, it's more doable, it's more like realistic, and then 4,000 is just like amazing. That's like very happy. 5,000 is like, that is just like so amazing, so happy. So that's kind of my lineup there. So yeah, I don't even think I would need like 1,000 dedicated fans. I think that's it. And I guess I'm kind of talking, you know, I'm just pulling stuff out of like making stuff up right now. Maybe that's like a lot less realistic than I'm thinking it is. But yeah, I mean, how do we even get to this? Oh yeah, we're talking about, I think if I got to that point where I could really live, just make a normal income, and bear in mind as well, if this was my income, there would be much more content. You know, like, I would definitely just talk all day. I'd probably just live stream like all day. So don't think like people would be doing that and it would be for nothing. Like, no, I would basically always be recording. I mean, I don't even know. I'd literally probably just always be recording. Like, I'd probably be a contender for the, you know, like the most live streaming person, like with the like most consistent hours, because I don't really know. I just have a feeling that's what I would do. And again, I mean, I don't need to be like crazy famous or anything like that. It's like I don't really have that much aspirations. You know, but I'd obviously want like a fan base of people and yeah, I just think, I mean, then maybe I could live with myself, because it's like, I think part of the problem is when, I guess when you're not where you want to be, it's difficult. But if you have people who are there for you like that, maybe it's different. But that also could be coping, because yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess if I'm not really at peace with myself, why would having fans or whatever fix that? Like it probably doesn't fix that, you know. It's interesting. It's interesting to think about, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just where I'm at. That's I don't think about it often, but I do I do think about it from time to time. I know I've talked about it on here before. I think the other thing I wanted to mention today is, I know I've been upset about my past not being better recorded or better chronicled, but at the same time, I don't think we're missing all that much. I mean, a lot of it would have just been very interesting to hear and reminisce about, but the bulk of my teenage years and my philosophy and all that stuff, I just don't think it was very legitimate, I think is a good term. I don't think I was it just wasn't like legitimate stuff, if that makes sense. Like, I still think I was finding out who I was and experimented with a lot of different philosophies and things that I don't even believe anymore, you know? And I would have been espousing those beliefs and philosophies. There were times I was more into nihilism. Like, I was really into nihilism. Then now, I mean, I don't really think I'm that nihilistic, like, at all. Like, it's kind of weird, you know? And no, I just don't really think I'm that nihilistic. But when I was a teenager, I was like really nihilistic. I might still be existential, but I don't think I'm nihilistic anymore. I think that's not an accurate label for myself. But that's what I wanted to mention. It's like, I mean, yeah, I would love to have them, but at the same time, like, I don't think we're missing much. I even think it's possible, just in the past couple months, again, it's difficult for me to pinpoint, because oftentimes I feel like it's like I romanticize, oh, like, I was so much better back then, and I get nervous about being able to recreate or replicate certain eras, or oh, I think I did a really good job on today's episodes, and then I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the same in the future. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. And that's how I end up feeling. And I think even within this show, there already is probably certain episodes I would kind of cringe at. Like, I would kind of like, do I really think that? Did I really say that? Like, even now, I think I've already most likely felt that way if I went back to some of the beginning episodes. I think it's interesting too how much the tone has changed, because my like origin theory is that it was that introvertedness isn't real. And then, of course, as time has progressed, it's kind of funny, because it's almost become like I want to be an introvert, and in a lot of ways I'm being forced into that position due to I think my generation, my environment. I'm being forced into that archetype. I think I've come to understand I would be better off as an introvert as well, interestingly enough. And I obviously, like, I wish I was. I mean, I don't know that I could pull it off. I don't know that I could pull off being an introvert, but it's definitely like that was what I came out of the gates swinging. And it's kind of, yeah, interesting to think back and try to reflect on where I was back then. And it was still kind of remnants of that hypersocial theory that I have, which I think is still very much correct. And I actually haven't really thought much about those theories and ideas, but I still do believe that I just think that we know too many people. Like, we're not supposed, the amount of people we're aware of, the amount of celebrities, actors, actresses, friends, family, relationships, exes. I mean, this is all stuff. There were civilizations and times where you got in an arranged marriage and you didn't even have exes. You didn't date multiple people, and you never even got your own home. You just lived with your family kind of your whole life until you got like in an arranged marriage, and you definitely never left your town. And so we've really made our relationships that we do have so far insignificant. I mean, at this point, Discord and online relationships, friendships, they're so small compared to everybody else. And then now, I mean, then it became social media, which was a huge jump in the amount of people you know. But, that was when social media first came out. Now, it's basically like, everybody's a celebrity, right? Like, everybody is a celebrity, basically. Everybody can be famous, and it's strange, and that's not supposed to be the case. We're not supposed to be able to know this many people. I don't think it's healthy, and I think that's part of the problem, and it makes us very exhausted, the amount of people we've known and remember. I know it is for me, and I know that a lot of people, they don't even remember, like that I've talked to them. Or I remember so many people I've met on Discord, and they're just gone, and they probably never really think about me or even remember who I am or anything like that. And it's just so interesting, like how my brain is that sticky compared to other people. And again, how that's like an amazing trait, but most people are actually like intimidated by it, and it actually harms my ability to socialize, because again, socialization typically rewards average traits, or traits that are easy to comprehend. The small above average that would be desirable for popularity has to stay relatively small, and it's mostly assimilation potential and conformity potential. It's just interesting, because just now I realize, like, I haven't even thought about it that much. I guess so much of my theories and ideas, I just end up happening to focus on different things over time or something, because I haven't really brought up that type of thing in a long time. Like, a lot of the things I talk about now, I don't even, I guess it's, I mean, I always talk about people, but, and I don't know if this is accurate or not. What I want to say, though, is that I've been talking more societal recently, whereas back then I was talking more psychological. I think that's kind of been, because I feel like, and even now, like, I'm sort of getting more into, like system theory and things like that, more so than human psychology. And of course there's a lot of overlap with that, but I don't know, that's just so interesting to me that I was thinking about that, and just how much sense that makes, and how it's still something that nobody understands. It doesn't seem like anybody really talks about it. And kind of boils down to my core philosophy that you can't improve yourself. You can't improve your situation because there is certain systemic and environmental roadblocks in order to do so. Oh, just go outside and make friends. No, like not everybody can do that. Not most people in our generation can. And especially I think people younger than me, it's even worse. Their brains are not okay due to, I believe, excessive short form content being a constant escape. Mostly comes down to escapism and distraction just as an option. You don't really have to deal with things. So now you have people who are like adults who are children, and they're really, and of course, I think you could argue this has always been the case, but I think we're going to see it like explode where it's just like people are adults and they don't know anything. I mean, I feel in a lot of ways I'm this way. There's definitely things, I don't believe I'm as affected as some other people, but sometimes it just feels weird. Like I feel like I'm like I feel too like young, like it's like I should know certain things or should be tougher, and I guess I've been sheltered and I've kind of had these unusual experiences and things like that, and it's frustrating. But then on the other hand, I feel like older than everybody, in a lot of ways. It's just kind of in the core surface level, like, oh, how much money do you make, or like that kind of stuff. I'm like, well, that shouldn't be anybody's focus. Nobody should really be focusing on money. Money should be an afterthought. I've talked about that too, how we need to be moving towards like money is there as a organizational tool, but it's not the forefront of a society. It's not. Like nobody should ever have like a money first mindset or really be focusing on their career in that way. It's just not. It leads to problems, and there would be less problems if people were overall less competitive and cared about money less. And that's not to say that I like the way I described it in the Walk Switch Law today. A competition was amazing. It's just that there's a next step. There is a step afterwards, and we kind of lost the plot with that, or maybe it's going to take until technology is more superior to really figure that out. And there's also a lot of people who they're just depressed. I think even with myself, when I was of a certain age where I think I was about like 17ish when I really started to realize like how useless competition is. It does demotivate you. And then I tried to kind of no, like that's not good, like I need to be competitive, it's important. But I think at the end of the day my brain keeps cycling back to what is just evidently true, and it's hard once you have that type of awareness to move past that, because it's like I can't just forget it really, and it is sort of a depressive thing. I mean, you have to understand how to channel that elsewhere, and I don't think I ever really figured that out, but I still agree with it. I just think it's obvious that you would have a lot of people who wouldn't know what to do with themselves without competition. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves without gambling. And when I say gambling, I mean, not just actual gambling, but like video games, playing sports. When you watch sports, it's lesser than a video game, but it's literally just a bunch of probability. That's why it's fun to watch, because you don't know who's going to win and all these things. And that really makes people excited and alive, but it's not good in the long term. There has to be a next step for humanity. We have to see some kind of progress, some kind of next step. Okay, like, yeah, the 1900s, we had this amazing thing and sports was pretty nice, but then now it became really over commercialized, and now you see the corrupt side of it, and it's like, so now it's not really a great thing anymore. We have to figure out what's next, you know? But anyways, sadly we're out of time. It's been schla, but now it's time to buy schla. So, see you schla.